It's starting to really feel like we're continuing the nightmare that was last season. And it's getting to that point now where I'm finding it very difficult to pinpoint exactly the main area of failure that is creating this calamity that the season is starting to look like it is right now. I'm starting to get to a point where it's getting very difficult to solely place the blame on individual entities. I have this sneaking suspicion that this is a collective failure we're seeing, and I'm starting to re-examine how we even rebuilt this club since new owners took over. I'm starting to really feel like these are the consequences that we are paying the price for forcing so much change all at once, because not only is it the squad, my guys, it's been the medical team, it's been staff, it's been absolutely everything. And I feel like we're seeing the consequences. I mean, number one, we got no shirt sponsors 6 games into a new season. No sponsor secured. Why do we not have one? Because the original business director we hired had a scandal which meant that he had to go, which killed a lot of time. And when we thought we had the Paramount Plus deal, sealed up and done, more unforeseen circumstances like show their face. The FA said no to that. And that's an example of how it's always risky to force so many things all at once, because we're a club right now that is rebuilding the team, rebuilding the staff, doing this club multi-network, getting a new stadium, trying to get more sponsors and investors. It's looking a bit ridiculous when you're trying to force all these things in the space of 12 months. It's looking like it doesn't really work right now. And if we could slow things down a little bit, if we look to just slowly boost factors throughout the club incrementally, would that have had greater success for us on the field? That's my honest takeaway now after assessing this nightmare over the past 18 months. I had to get that point out the way, and I'll be discussing this point in future videos in even greater detail. But to discuss this game today, my friends, I have to talk about Pochettino. And listen, I am not here to communicate sack Pochettino, he must go. And to be honest with you, that's even starting to look pretty stupid now, because we're at a point right now where there is no mystical figure that's out there in the game right now that we can just hire who will make sense of everything and get us winning all of a sudden. I think winning teams and clubs aren't solely built on spending money and hiring a manager. I think it's a lot deeper than that. And they're the prevalent feelings now I'm starting to get after seeing how this season is starting to go on. The only criticism I will give Pochettino is just game management decisions. I feel like these are the areas I want to see improvements on. And I have to say this, I was so angry, I was so disappointed by the substitutions that he made. Because when he took off Enzo and Mudryk and Nicholas Jackson, you just encourage Aston Villa to push forward, get forward more and more and more and more. I was seeing Digne and Cash get in advanced positions that they weren't taking up during the start of this game. And I know I'll talk about that red card incident later on, but I'm sorry, I just don't think that type of weak management is going to be conducive for a young team like this. These young teams need to feel the confidence of their manager of, listen, we can still win this game regardless if we're down to 10 men. I'm not taking off no one, because when you take off a Mudryk, that's the danger man that Unai Emery was telling Aston Villa to be careful of due to that pace and what you can do in flashes and moments, right? And that's going to be something that even forces them back. And again, as we look to push on when we had nothing else to lose, once we were 1-0 down due to that counter-attacking goal scored by Ollie Watkins, I was thinking to myself, if we're looking to play balls over the top and have presence in the box and have pace on the counter-attack, we took off 3 players that you feel, and I'm not saying that guaranteed to even get you a goal or assist, but you feel you have a stronger chance of getting something by having your 3 danger men on the field. And it's these types of management decisions from Pochettino that is starting to maybe frustrate me a bit. And I don't know what it is about my football club where a lot of these guys we hire kind of go against their DNA and their instincts. A lot of that, aggressiveness and assertiveness that you see throughout their careers outside of being our managers, they seem to really become very timid characters here. And I don't really like that. And I feel like once he made those subs, he basically told Aston Villa, it's your turn to try and win the game now. I don't care that we went down to 10 men. And even going down to 10 men, I can even accept the bit of misfortune that really affects the game plan. Because I'd have to say, even the second half, we were a bit more aggressive compared to the first half. And I'm sorry, I thought the red card was nonsense. I think Gusto was kind of robbed. I think that was incredibly harsh. I swear I see that same tackle week in, week out in this country. And I just hate the lack of consistency you see from referees. When the referee was, doing the VAR review, I knew instantly Gusto was going to get a red card. Because the way they even try and just subliminally try to just show the referee that this was a straight red card. I mean, he's going to the VAR monitor and there's a still frame of Gusto's flipping studs connected with Digne. But when you see the moment in real time, did Gusto go through Digne first to win the ball? Did Gusto clear his man first to get that ball? No. He got the ball first, and the momentum from Digne and Gusto, of course, created that moment. Digne naturally gassed the moment up because you saw him bombing down the left-hand side throughout the game afterwards, right? And I'm sorry, I don't think that was a red card. I think that was incredibly harsh. And maybe the players should have actually, protested that a bit more. I don't know. But obviously that didn't help you. And now that we have Gusto out, who's going to miss the next 3 games, we've got no right backs no more. We don't have Nico Jackson, who got another sloppy yellow card after Pochettino said to him, listen, start having your, stop getting reactive in the game. Have your brain on in these moments. He's got yellow cards and I can't remember one foul this guy's made. Just descent. He has to learn from that. But at the same time, I can understand this guy's frustration because in this game today, he had 1 shot on goal. Is he getting connective service? Is he getting enough opportunities? His half chance moments. I feel like there's a lot of unfair pressure being put on him right now where it's he's not good enough. We should have signed a striker. And it's coming from people that don't know what they're talking about. Now, if you want to talk about Vlahovic was awful against the Swallow. He got subbed off for Moises Kean. We can say, but Nini scored a few goals at the season start. He was the guy we needed. Bro, let's be serious. If he signed for us, he ain't scoring nothing because it's deeper than scapegoating one individual, one player. Oh, Conor Gallagher, why is he playing 90 minutes? Surely that's the reason, all right? Again, did Gallagher look like the reason for any failure today? And if you think that, you're just I don't know what to say to you. We see the game completely differently and there's no conversation there between us, to be fair with you. But the only thing I can think of and see is just the man management from Pochettino right now. I look at the left-hand side. We saw some nice moments. I saw Mudryk play a super reverse ball behind to find Nico Jackson. I want Nico to have at least 3-4 of those same opportunities per game, not just one. Because he's not going to score from one chance every single time like that. Not when he's 22 years old and he's still inexperienced. So, as I keep saying, I don't understand this thing of expecting this clinical precision, constantly playing to create clear-cut opportunities when this team isn't good enough to take advantage of any of them. We don't have the most dangerous box presence. We constantly look to play these overlapping runs in behind, to play cutback crosses inside the box to find who? Who is taking advantage of them? Absolutely no one. And we weren't playing this way during pre-season. And it just comes to me just thinking that Pochettino now is just being too pragmatic. He's feeling the fear of having to manage and coach a young team. And as for me, bro, I think you have to accept and embrace it. And I'm going to keep saying this. I don't think I got all the answers. I don't think I'm a genius. I'm just a flipping YouTuber. I accept the mistakes and I learn more about this game. But I'm sorry, I kind of feel like this is a team that would have a lot more benefits winning games 3-2 compared to winning 1-0, 2-0. I just kind of feel like we're not good enough for that. I don't think we're maximizing the full potential of this team. That's what I see. I'm looking at the flipping average positions. I'm still seeing the left side is isolated from the entirety of the game. You're seeing how close everyone is together on the right hand side and no one's there on the left hand side. I just feel like, don't you want to have better balance? I know we've missed that not having Carnes and then Nkunku, but I still don't think it's good enough that now that we've missed out on 2 players like that you're not going to embrace using one of your left backs. You've got an abundance of left backs that you don't want to use. It does feel like Mudryk, because Mudryk, I think it was clear with how that second half ended. Mudryk doesn't make those runs in behind like Ben does, and he has to get credit for that, Ben. 2-3 times our only attacking moments was coming from Ben, making the overlap in behind, looking for a cutback cross, or looking to try and find someone inside the box. But even when he's in these moments, do you see teammates who have that wavelength and understanding of each other's movement? Absolutely not. I'm not seeing no one busting guts to get on the far post. I'm not seeing no intelligent runs or intelligent movements. And my thing is, we keep forcing this way of breaking teams down for what? I don't think this team is good enough to be playing this type of way, to be winning games in this manner. I don't see it. I actually think that if we had a bit more balance, if we accepted we might be a bit weak on the counter-attack, so be it if it means that this team has more confidence, not feeling the fear in front of goal. And again, it's not even only down to the manager solely. The players have to take some responsibility. Why? I think there was a disgraceful amount of offsides in this game today. From the first half, even more in the second half. And if your guys can't time their runs effectively, I think once or twice, we played against a high-line Aston Villa team. This team should be tearing apart a team like Aston Villa. I said in my preview, they are susceptible to through balls in behind. I mean, guys can't even time their runs properly against a back four that wasn't even that super connected. You know, that wasn't even playing the offside trap perfectly. A lot of times it was getting away with it because our runs were shit. Or our timing of a pass was awful. And the players take some responsibility for these moments too. But it just comes down to what I'm saying. I don't think this young team is good enough to be playing this type of manner. If you're going to be playing with Sterling and Jackson and Mudryk by themselves, I'm sorry, I feel like a Cole Palmer, another connected player is needed. If you're going to have more possession, if you're going to have more of the ball, you need to have more focal points. I think Enzo, again, looks kind of all right, but he's not looking as effective as he was earlier. And he's starting to look less and less effective per game now. I think that comes down to the balance that Pochettino is going for. And I think all I can see is that he's prioritizing not conceding compared to scoring. And I think this is where most of the issues are getting self-created for us at this point in time. But my friends, I'm going to be discussing a lot of the issues at this club that I feel in greater detail tomorrow. Definitely stay tuned for that. I think we're past the point of just placing blames on the manager of this or Bowley or that. If you guys are saying that in the comments, be angry, be mad, I understand that. But you're not saying anything conducive right now, and you're not saying anything that I agree upon either. But so the story of our season right now, I don't see any upsides. And I think that's the worrying thing. I don't see any improvements. And the only thing I can end this video off by saying is, Pochettino, now is the time to start doing things differently. If you go in the same approach of using this back four system in the next game, I'm sorry you're asking for whatever comes your way. Because these owners, these directors, listen, I even understand that they didn't get the players you wanted. They didn't sign the players in time for you during preseason so you can work on them. There was so much dishevel throughout the entirety of this summer. And I know you were confused by how certain players as well got sold without your approval. So listen, I'm not here to scapegoat Pochettino or say get him out. I'm not stupid. And I'm sick and tired of this type of culture of sacking and hiring as if you're going to win that way anymore. But don't think that as the pressure continues, these directors who will feel the pressure from their higher-ups won't then apply that pressure to you for not getting their team right, yeah? So it's up to you now to start coming with different ideas, honestly, because these ideas right now, they ain't it. So my friends, on that note, share your thoughts and opinions. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV. I'll see you guys later with some more videos. Cool.